because it in fact says, made of the earth. If he is relocating Eden there, is that then third heaven, earth? I mean, that's a really weird concept.
That's a really weird concept. Yes, they had really fucking weird concepts in Judaism. That's the fucking point. We mentioned De La Meuse on Google Scholar. You can go on Google Scholar and search that up. There's 2 Enoch. Also on Brill. Brill is an academic publisher. There's chapter 7, the Tree of Life in Enochic literature. So Enoch has the Tree of Life being placed in the third heaven in paradise. They use the same stuff there. I can put all of this in post, I guess. Early, the Vigile Christiane, author Robert M.G. in Early Christian Geography, that also places the paradise or Eden in the third heaven. Let's see, Elior, the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies in that particular journal article by Elior. It also suggests that the entire point of bringing all of these scholars up is that this is a known thing. You go to Google Scholar and you search up this particular topic and you'll come up with multiple different scholars that support this idea. So it's really weird that McGrath doesn't even know the scholarship in his own field.
And I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't actually try to, find traces of it in ancient literature, write a full-fledged academic article making the case that there could be this idea.
That there's already academic articles that have been written that agree with this idea because it was the idea at the time. Like, this is it all throughout the literature. We don't need to write up an academic article about what Paul thought about it, because Paul is very clear about what he thought about it in the words that he chooses to use, also in the literal words of it. Let me just bring it back up real quick. I know a person in Christ who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven. The person was pulled up by God to the third heaven. And, we've also got like the Ascension of Isaiah, which is a later Christian text, but it also has a motherfucker being brought up to the heavens like that. It's all throughout the literature, like the source material. If McGrath has been diving into the source material and has been doing the work of scholars, he would know this.
But in the absence of that, there's no real reason why somebody should posit as yet unattested ideas about third heaven, earth.
It's not unattested. It's been in the scholarship for years. Just James McGrath is not looking at the scholarship. Also, he's literally asking the audience right now to forego the words that are literally on the fucking page. I've said this before, and I will say it again. I'll say it as many times as I need to. Excuse my literacy, but I can just read the words on the fucking page.
From which the earthly atom is then made from, it just gets, when things start to get so complicated and muddy, it sometimes means that there's stuff we don't know, but sometimes it just means we're trying to build or something.
I think it's amazing that he doesn't know that scholarship has already been done on this question, that scholarship hasn't already been published in peer-reviewed journals. Like, that fact alone indicates to me that I can't trust this guy right here. I can't trust James McGrath to give me good information about the field of biblical and New Testament studies, because he doesn't know the very basics of this field. And it's obvious because we've proven it in this video, because apparently he doesn't know about the apocalypse of Moses or the life of Adam and Eve. He doesn't know about the third apocalypse of Baruch. He doesn't know about all of these, the ascension of Isaiah. That's another one that has the third heaven method, hierarchy to it, multiple levels of heaven, as it were. The fact that he doesn't know this shit is concerning. It should be concerning to anybody, and it should be a red flag to anybody that wants to have James McGrath on their channel to be some kind of expert in this shit. Because if you're gonna be an expert in this kind of shit, maybe you should know the material. I don't know. Maybe that's a crazy thing that I require of people, that if they're going to be an expert, that they would know their shit. I just figured you would want to present like the best information that you got.
Yeah, we're putting things together in a way that runs counter to the natural way of interpreting the evidence.
The natural way for James McGrath to read the evidence, because he has a particular goal, or he has a particular idea in mind as to what this is supposed to mean. And so he has to forego forego all of that current research, and by current, I mean in the past 30 fucking years. He has to forego all of that to make it seem like it's ridiculous to reinterpret shit in weird ways, when in fact, he's the one that's reinterpreting Paul's words in weird ways. He's the one that's asking you to forego your literal visual acuity of being able to read shit on a page. They can hear the words and know that Paul is talking about a motherfucker who 14 years ago was pulled up into the third heaven to the paradise, which is attested all throughout Christian literature as being Eden. To say, oh no, we don't know what he's talking about here. It's just pure fucking bullshit at this point. That's going to be it for the video. That was it for that section. I appreciate Derek bringing this up, but I would say one correction I'll make there is that this is not my argument about Eden or paradise being in the third heaven, or Paul believing that somebody was pulled up by God to the third heaven. For one thing, it's just reading the words on the page. That's literally what it fucking says. Just says it right there. Words on the page. It's there. Two, not my argument. Other academics are making this argument. I'm the one that's actually reading the academic material. And I am the one that's just taking the academic consensus on this topic and presenting it to my audience, because I've done the work of researching this and vetting it for myself, following footnotes, going to Sci-Hub. I don't know if you guys know about Sci-Hub, but you can use Sci-Hub to get academic material, not only on like scientific topics, but you can, if as long as you have a DOI number, you can go there and most likely you're going to be able to pull these academic journal articles and shit like that. So you can follow the academia. You can see what academics are saying. And while yes, I do hold to a fringe position of mythicism, this is not a fringe position. This is actually the academic consensus in the field. So this isn't just some kind of fucking weird thing I'm making up on the spot, or I'm misinterpreting Paul's words, or I'm twisting Paul's words in order to make it say what I want it to. I'm literally just reading the words on the page and considering what Paul and other first century Jewish Christians, as well as Jews, thought about the cosmology of their world, as well as what they thought about Adam. I mean, fuck me for doing the legwork on this, I guess.